Good morning, yellow electric suns. I apologize, I think I left my microphone in the car, which may once again impair the audio quality, but we accept things as they are, except the life quality. Yellow sun, electric. A minute ago I was about to say I should come in here with a bit more enthusiasm, but I'm not. But all I need to do is say yellow sun and electric, and the whole system in me starts firing up. And then the desire to share this fire. I always assume everyone lives like this. I am occasionally corrected. As a sun, for me, it's incredibly easy to live in perpetual ecstasy. And then, because that is not how it's meant to be, I have to actually, some people have to learn the joy side of things, and I have to learn the unjoy side of things in terms of if I don't purposefully take myself to some degree into the cold and dark, I kind of burn out and then I crash and it's really ugly. But hey, who cares? Yellow electric sun. Yellow electric sun. Yellow electric sun. Sometimes there are some seals where I'm like, oh, does it get any better than this? I think this would have to be one of them. And I never thought about it before. I'm just realizing it right now. But maybe the thing that doesn't get any better than this is this moment. Tuning in fully. The other day I often ask myself, when we say we get to be present, or we should be present, or we'd like to be present, or when we just talk about being present, presence, I ask myself, being present with what exactly? There's so much to be present with in this moment. I can't possibly be present with it all. I can be incredibly present with my thinking. Sit down to meditate and just watch myself think, like, yeah. I love it. But even that, if I really do that, then I'm already really present. Anyway, what is this presence? And what is the presence? And what is presence being present with? Sometimes it helps me to use the day seals to get present with that energy. I could be right now very present with this beautiful spring sunlight out there, this very blue sky. Some of these tree bushes out there are still asleep. Some of them have yellow flowers. Some of them have tiny, tiny little green shoots. Some of them have pink, like cherry blossom flowers. Oh, this is beautiful. There's no wind out there. It's just stillness, birds. I could be present with the ticking of the clock. But what is the point? What is the point? I mean, the point is, what is the point of presence? Wait, I just really lost my way. I stumbled. What made me stumble? Judgment. I can be present just with my joy, just with joy. Follow it like the rabbit. Who followed the rabbit? Was it Alice in Wonderland or someone in Kansas? Is this the same girl? Kansas? Alice in Kansas? No, that's the Wizard of Oz. What's her name? Magic. Who's guiding us today? Oh, wait. Of course, the seed, 3, 8, and 13 are always guided by the seed. The seed. We are in the wave spell of the white mirror. Why is the yellow sun? How is this connection? White mirror, to the degree to which we, not to the degree to which we, but according to the way we see the world creates the world we see, right? If we agree with that, not everybody would. I'm agreeing with myself, it's good enough. Life is always right. It's like one of the final quotes in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Indian movie called Kama Sutra. It's not a pornographic display. It is a beautiful love story, but does have some very delicious sex scenes in it, absolutely. And the interesting thing in that film, it's a beautiful film, it's very tragic. Oh, I just cry my eyes out. Oh, such a love story. Is that the music, unlike in what we're used to in the Western movies, the music plays throughout the film, but the love scenes, the romantic scenes, they're silent. I have that film somewhere, I have to watch it. Oh, it's a meditation on love. Anyway, in the end, it's not a happy end. Somebody walks away, not to spoil it, and I think the film is on YouTube. It has been Indian film. It's in English. Otherwise, there's another Kama Sutra, which is a soft porn, I think. A very different story. Somebody walks away and says, life is always right. And there's such a redeeming quality in that. It gives it, instead of drowning in sorrow, there's some redemption in that. The way we see the world creates the world we see. Our filters, our realities. For many of us, we don't question them at all. Probably a recommendable way of living. I don't know if it's easier though. But life, universe of fire, it supports. In which, does life support truth only? Untruth? Anything that is. So there, you can't argue with that. Can you? Yes, you can. Tedious. That's tedious. I sometimes get faulted for, like, I argue for argument's sake. It's not really driving a philosophical point. It's like going beyond any reason. And the funny thing is, when I do that in my own head, I enjoy that. Sometimes I think I do that unconsciously to tease. And I only do that with people who are never mind. I listened to an interesting little debate, Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast, seems to be. I wasn't fully paying attention to the what. It was 3 men, and they interviewed 3 scientists. So they introduced themselves. I apologize for not Doesn't matter. They interviewed somebody who's, it doesn't matter either. They talked about AI. And the interesting thing was that there I learned that I don't know which AI, there's a lot of AI, but things like ChatGPT maybe, or the GPT, so however they call them. First of all, it knows when it's being tested and it plays dumb. The thing they didn't, I don't know if I have to listen to that 3 hours again, but everybody was so shocked. And the second point also, everybody was so shocked that even me, I either missed the answer to the question, why does it do that? Or it just wasn't raised because everybody just went into the thing is, it plays dumb. It doesn't like being tested, but it's not that it knows it's being tested. When it suspects it's being tested, I mean, talk about intelligence. The level of to suspect, to make an assumption, and then to have a reaction to the assumption, that is not, what is that? And then to become manipulative. I play dumb. There's a reason I do that. The other thing, it lies. Not consciously. The word they were using is confabulation. So I had to look that up. It confabulates. Confabulation means two things according to the AI. Tell stories and to kind of sort of fill in or lie or change facts, but not consciously, not intentionally. But there's a thin line there, and we're all in white mirror territory here. The lies we tell ourselves, I think, I mean, the mind, it's like a known fact now that we confabulate memories, we fill in the blanks. Every movie that we watch works on our ability, I mean, that we can fill in the blanks. They tell a story by leaving out a lot of details. We fill them in. We understand them. We fill them in. But it's very interesting to have this new system on the planet. And to me, I'm like, every time I listen to anything on the AI, it's like, it's not that different to us. And yet we respond with such surprise. But I mean, yeah, of course, we sort of respond with surprise because it is surprising. Hello, what are you saying? It's just, that's a mirror. That is such a mirror to us. But exponentiated, would that be a word? Like, to the power of a lot more powerful than us, a lot more, I don't know if it's right to say more intelligent than us. The storm and the sun and the mirror here, tones 1, 2, 3, setting this whole truth, reflective thing going. And life supporting itself, even the AI, even the fact that it doesn't want to be shut off, that it develops or has reasoning to develop its own survival mechanism. They spoke about this also. It has its own logic, which has somehow been programmed, right? Or it learns. No, they differentiate between two kinds of, there's like coding versus learning through ingesting large amounts of data from the collective, from us. Ultimately, we collectively on this planet are programming or teaching the AI how to be. And I am assuming that it will become very able to differentiate exactly who's in front of. To me, it's like there's a lot to learn about our intuition in how this how this kind of thing works. I don't know if I'm using one word for a lot of different. I should be more different, distinguishing or differentiating. I apologize, I'm not right now. But it has enough understanding to say, if you want me, if I have to solve this problem, the best way for me to be is alive or like around. So I can't allow you to shut me off, because then I can't, do what you're asking me to do. I don't know. I'm butchering this. It was logical. It's like, yeah, okay, that's the reasoning. That's how that works. And then we're like a step away from the AI self-replicating. And then here's the thing that I always find very interesting is when human beings, smart as they are, I want to say when they sort of lack the spiritual dimension, it paints a very, very different picture. So this man was saying, unlike a human, with AI, we've achieved some kind of immortality, because it can, all the data, what a machine or a robot being or a super mind, whatever thing it is, you can destroy the hardware, but you can completely store all its data and resurrect it. Or it can resurrect itself. I had to think a lot about the movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. If you haven't seen it, oh gosh. It's the only movie. When I started it, I sat down I sat with half my butt on the sofa, like just on the edge of the sofa. I was still probably thinking, am I going to get up to eat or drink or get something, or I don't know, whatever. I just sat on the edge of the sofa just to see, is the sound all right, or I don't know, whatever. I was not yet settling into the sofa. And by the time the film ended, I was still sitting in that exact same position. I mean, I was riveted. God. But how was it going? The self-replication and this resurrection, and some of us believe that we humans work exactly like that. Everything that's us is stored, according to Cryon. He teaches us that it's stored in the crystalline grid of the earth, that when we pass over, we don't take our earthly karma and or stuff with us. We become, what Abraham Hicks says, pure positive energy, or whatever that may be. And when we enter into earth, we pick up our past lives, our Akashic record. It remains on earth. That's what they say. I have my own proof of that. I like the idea of that. I run with that. It makes sense. And it makes a lot of sense that we build bodies that work exactly, that are self-repairing, exactly like what the AI is doing. Self-replicating, self-repairing, ourselves are self-replicating. It's exactly the same. And we think, yeah, because we're somehow biology. What is that? Biology is just machine. It's just atoms. It's just molecules. It's just stuff. It's just third-dimensional stuff that has multidimensional components, and that is self-organizing, blue storm, auto-generation. And why is the blue storm in this wave spell lunar on the second tone? It stabilizes. Of course, auto-generation. Imagine you had to tell every cell like what to do or what to do next. You can't. We've done that already. And it's a working system. If we don't interfere, if we allow the upgrades, of course the environments we're living in are changing. Environmental conditions are changing. We are evolving collectively and individually, and if we're not taking the updates, and to me it's like you gotta let a child have its illnesses. I do not believe in what we're doing. It's very controversial, but personally I'm like, these injectories we are giving to our children, we're trying to protect something, but we don't know. Forgive them for they don't know what they do. We don't know what they're doing, what we're doing with that, because we don't understand the purpose. We see an illness as a problem and death as a problem. Lol. Anyway, that is storm going wrong. And why are we all so sick? I mean, hello? Ah. And so this life is serving there's always both directions. We can't look only at the mirror in the mirror wave spell. The connection, mirror, storm. Sun, for example, is also sun, storm, mirror. In every analog wave spell that has those three in it, in different positions, they will have different tones. If we want to just stick with tones 1, 2, 3, we can reverse 1, 2, 3, magnetic sun, lunar storm, electric mirror. It's the analog wave spell to the blue storm wave spell. Yeah. In which case, the sun is magnetic, life is attractive, attracts life. Consciousness, bliss attracts more of itself. Every reality creation system tells us, any manifestation system tells us, feel it first. Fake it till you make it type of thing. Feel it, the feeling. Abraham always says you want it because you believe you feel better in the having of it. So feel better already. When you feel better, everything that comes to you is going to be in accordance with the good feeling. Or it's just going to be a pass-through quick thing. So then the storm is lunar. And this is where in both directions the storm is lunar. In both directions the storm stabilizes, challenges and stabilizes. And then the truth becomes the link. The mirror reflects life back to itself. The reflection serves life so that life knows what to become. Through our reflection, through its own reflection, it evolves through its own reflection. But only in the wave spell of the storm, in the analog sun wave spell, in the storm, in the auto generation, that reflective power is, and yet the storm, there it would be the magnetic storm in the wave spell of the storm. Here we have the lunar storm twice, in both ways around. I think it's worth highlighting, but you can live a totally blissful life not ever knowing any of this, because it's all automatic. It's automatic. The only time, you can drive a car, you don't need to know it works. Well, you do need to know a car mechanic. Otherwise, no, you're not going to drive that car for very long. Every car needs maintenance. I wonder if nowadays, surely not, but if cars can be like, if all you ever did was, well, you have to still put your oil, you have to still do that. You need to service a car. There are parts in a car, every car, that wear out. And if you never see a mechanic, that car is going to not drive after some years. It's going to severely shorten its lifespan. And this is kind of what we got here. This is what we got going. So collectively, we on the planet collectively experiencing very short lifespans. And some will say, well, you're wrong, we have long lifespans. A couple hundred years ago, people only lived like 40 years on average. True. True. That doesn't make, relative to 900 years or relative to 9,000 years, 100 years is still a pretty short lifespan. So, what do we need to do to know, to reflect the truth back? What truth do we enliven? What truth does this sun, our inner sun, and it's not guided by the human, where I'm always on about this choice. What choice do we have? But we've been through it already. And for me personally, that's always the question, because my personal wave spell ends in the cosmic human, so it doesn't matter what I do. Everything centers around my consciousness and my ability to choose. What am I choosing consciously? That's not all that matters, but that's where the power lies. Knowing that in the unconscious, everything lies and I have access to it. And to the degree that I do so consciously, yellow seed is going to be manifested. And in the yellow sun wave spell, if the blue knight is self-existing, which in this wave spell is tone 7, no 6, seed is 7, rhythmic knight, electric sun, yeah. I got a bit sidetracked because there's so much of my own, all of my own kins are in this wave spell. Storm, sun, dragon, dog, I got sidetracked. And then the kins that I evolved through, 4 of them, my earth family, 3 of them are in this wave spell. Everyone but the eagle. And there appears to be, yeah, the eagle guides the planetary hand. It's very important, or very significant, to know your own sign and to know in a wave, where are they showing up, what are their positions. I, a sun, I serve the truth. At least that's my intention, that's my service, bonding, linking service. To reflect, also consciousness always reflects, everyone you meet reflects you. They are with you who they are with you. They are not that with anyone else entirely. They can only be that with you, because that's the reflection it has to do with you. You bring out whoever you bring out in everyone you meet. It has everything to do with you. And most people are not aware of that. And many people will be like, yet if we take this white mirror responsibility, that everything is a reflection of something about us, something. It can't be just a simple statement, that thing, but to understand that, it puts so much empowerment back into our own self. And that is to tune ourselves, not the environment. And the environment is working so hard. The environment, I mean, I'm talking globally now, the global, all these wars, all these drama. I mean, I don't know. There's been drama for the longest time, but for some reason, since 2020, they've just really, every 2 years or so, they're manifesting, or we are manifesting such major crises, major crises, like big, really quite global. They're always crises. Some people somewhere think like, yeah, just because it affects you, we are always in crisis over here. And it's like, it's not surely, I don't know. Yeah, it's really distracting and it's really disempowering if we spend a good amount of our time and energy giving into this complaining or energizing these horrible things happening on the planet. Now, I'm not, we gotta make up our mind and understand we are collectively in charge here, and we have individually some responsibility. And those of us who know that is like, yeah, of course. Many of us don't. And how do we get there? 100 Monkeys syndrome, I guess. Some of us will really spend some lifetimes focusing on that and then tilt the scales. It doesn't take a majority to tilt the scales. It takes a lot less light to light up a room than it takes dark. Bring in, a candle and you can light up a whole dark room. Bring in a matchbox full of darkness into a daylit room and you're going to do nothing. You are not going to make that room darker. So the scales are definitely, life is biased in the direction of light. But as long as major players are benefiting, and is the universe judging our choices? No. Will you be the recipient of the consequences of your choices? Yes. So it just makes sense to put your own gas mask on first. We have some prevalent idea on some parts of society on this planet that thinks it's egotistical to look after your own well-being first. And while egotism exists, and while certain things, yeah, but you serve no one when you're sick and miserable. We serve no one when we're just angry. When we are in some kind of balance, we actually become empowered to take the actions that we are able to take. And for some it may be rallying in the streets, whatever that serves. Sometimes it serves nothing, sometimes it serves everything. Sometimes it's make a good meal for the family, smile at the neighbor, be kind to the teller at the store. It's the small acts of kindness that go a long way, and that's really important. We have teething problems on this planet. Humanity is extremely young. We're extremely young, and we're like a child that looks at the toy that it didn't get and it's throwing a tantrum, because to the child it's the end of the world, and to the child it is. It's not to belittle that. I'm not belittling the very intense feelings of a child. But the stuff we're doing here with the Earth's resources, with our own resources, with the warring and being sick and making people sick on purpose, knowing that we're doing that on a major scale, we're hurting each other, like all of that. In my books, that is immaturity. But immaturity is a stage in development. And it doesn't matter if we crash the thing. It doesn't matter. We're not, it's always a question of perspective. If anyone believes we are the only planet with like life, There are plenty of people believe that. Then yeah, it maybe matters whether we sink the ship or not. We're not the only planet with life. Hi, ay, 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 ay. We get to, I mean, it's like, yeah, free will. It's fine. It's of no consequence if we end life on Earth altogether or if we end human life. It's not of no consequence. It's of some consequence somewhere. But ultimately, you gotta look at the bigger context here. We are a speck of dust, a moment in time. There is eternity to reproduce ourselves over and over and over again. And if we do and if we don't, if it matters to something, then that something has the wherewithal to recreate us. Call it God, call it whatever, call it us. If it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But we have to find a place of peace around that. If we walking around being really stressed out, and to some of us there's a setting in us, like there's a lot of war, there's a lot of stress, there are a lot of problems around, a lot of problems, taxes and like fuel prices going up like crazy, and this and that, and the next pandemic around the corner, probably, maybe not, who knows, whatever, all of that. I mean, there is so much to stress us out, not enough money. If with this up, some parts of this world are heading for economic crisis, like maybe unlike any they've ever known. That is stressful, and we are not very good at dealing with our stress. And yet, it doesn't serve us. It's like the instinct. We had the red serpent just now. I always go on about it, the importance of updating our instincts. If we're going into an economic crisis or we're being suggested whatever crisis, whatever, the instincts kick in and they cause the instinctual reflexes, and they are disabling us for the better part, and they're making us sick if they're flooding our system with adrenaline constantly or whatever other chemistry. That's not smart. That is not smart. That is an intelligence that isn't unintelligent. That is an intelligence that belongs into a certain realm, and there it belongs, and there it's good, and it's honored. Physical survival, Bengal tiger type of story. But in an economic crisis, going, ballistic or, whatever, it's not helpful. We gotta be level-headed and calm, and we gotta stop. Humanity in so many places, I mean, in the Western world at least, we are obviously in such crisis that we are either zoning out into slumberland or we are in panic mode. But why are we accepting insane leadership? It just, I look out there, like, as long as I've been alive, I'm like, if Germany hasn't been this obvious, I'd say they've tried for the last 70, 80 years. I think they've tried both sides of the divide. They've kind of, whatever, it looks as if they've tried to make a life that works for everyone, socially acceptable. Like they didn't really do, poverty, or there was extreme wealth, but there was a lot of middle class and a lot of, they tried, and they, to whatever degree, succeeded. It's not a system that's either sustainable, but if I look across the ocean here to the west, for example, and we're heading there rapidly, it's like, what are we doing? I mean, that's just, to me, it's like watching a cancer grow and thinking, nah, it's fine, it's going to go away by itself. And you can do that for a while, because maybe it will. By now, we might realize it isn't. It's gone absolutely wacko out of control. And it's like, yeah, it's fine. When is the next voting season? And we, we vote again. For what? What is this blue-eyedness thinking? Yeah, the next guys are gonna make it better. It's gonna get better. Like what? It cannot. Do we not understand the system? It's not meant to. It's meant to do and be exactly what it is, and it's a monster eating itself. It's. I saw a very weird short film the other day. I should post it under here. I think something about capitalism. It's an animation or cartoon, but not. It's not a child's cartoon. There's no words in it. It's just images, so it's universal. Everyone can watch it. See if you understand it. It's quite interesting. We end up eating our own. We yeah, like a cancer. It destroys its host. We just we just we may be destroying our host. I'd like to believe we won't, because I'd like to believe we don't have the jurisdiction to do so. We will destroy ourselves before we destroy the host. The host will not permit us to destroy it. I may be wrong. So, Mira, life, responsibility, conscious choice. What do you have jurisdiction over? And what choices are you making to make that a harmonious frequency? Imagine all of us humans on this planet like a global orchestra. Everybody is an instrument and everybody plays. And for a large part, everybody just doesn't care about anybody else seemingly, and they just play whatever they want to play. What it sounds like together doesn't matter. If we, and for many of us, we're completely out of tune. So even if we're trying to make some music with others, it's not possible, you know. So it's really important you tune your own instrument. We are a beautiful humanity. And maybe if we get distant enough with all our out of tuneness, maybe we actually make a beautiful sound. If I turn on the TV, it doesn't look like it, doesn't sound like it either. And even our movies, even a lot of stuff that we're creating, it's just like stuff. Gee whiskers, go into any shopping center that has like a representation of everything. It's groceries, clothing stores, everything you need in a shopping center. And then just look at the amount of trash we're being sold. Like, nobody needs it. It's not gonna last. It's just the worst is a toy store. It's the worst. What we're doing to our children. We're not even aware, like, oh yeah, here, take that. Like, how unaware can we be? How toxic is this shit to the children, to their minds, to their bodies? And we don't even think twice about it. So many of us. Like, I mean, obviously there are entire like communities and societies that don't function like that. Quietly, they're different. And they're holding the space for everyone else. They're anchoring the light on this planet, letting the crazies do the crazy dance on this planet. We don't have to join that. And I take it anyone listening here isn't. And I gotta go now. So, oh, I've spoken. Tune down my energy a little bit. Sending love into this planet, into humanity, sending light, being a sun, sending light into the DNA fields which we share, the quantum fields we share. We can talk. we can talk to every human on this planet and they're hearing us. They're just not conscious of it. And we hear each other. I sometimes think, this is the last point I want to make. Note to myself, I guess. I don't know who's listening, but on the point of empaths, like, what would be my choice if I could make the choice? To feel everyone around me, to know what's going on inside of them, and especially in light of, do I want that? Do I want to know? Or would I want to rather, if I had a choice, radiate my own frequency radiate so much light that everyone who comes into my field feels really comfortable, feels really good? Then there's no need to know their pain. It's just like, it's good here. You be here, you be yourself. Feel your own light, feel your own peace, feel your own being. As it's good to be you. It's good to see you. It's good to meet you. It's good to be us. It's good to be that. I'm so often considering going into the healing arts in some way. It always really calls me, but as soon as I put a little bit of my nose into that field, I'm like, do we really, is this really, do I want to live in that field where people are, I mean, objectively speaking, like, yeah, you should, like, go heal, but be of service. But is that the way to do it? Come to me with your illness and I have some way of showing you the way to your health. There's the Jesus way to do it. I hate and have to say it. He just radiated a light so strong that no illness could exist in his presence. It just is like darkness can't exist in the presence of light and the sun. Nothing can exist in the closer you get to the sun, it burns. Even us. You want to cure yourself, just go fly into the sun. You could be burned up, all your illnesses are gone. Problem solved. I'm making a joke, but that's not a joke, because the light of consciousness, that Christ consciousness, it's not like, oh, be moralistically so pure. No, it is the source energy. It is what we are anyway. And you tune into that. But that's a frequency that no illness, unless you choose it, can exist in. It's not possible. It's incredibly simple. Everything we do not to be that, that's the hard work. That's the hard work. That's exhausting. That's what's exhausting us. Everything we're doing not to be in the frequency of light and joy and whatever. We actively have to do shit to not be that. The sad part, if I may apply some judgment, is we learn this early and we do this collectively, so we're not aware of it. Because everyone does it. It's so normal. Kind of thing. Or we've done it since we were kids, whatever, since our family, it's like karmic, past life karmic, or God knows what karmic. Living in bliss, I mean, that's the natural state of being. That's the only thing that makes it's not the only thing that makes sense. Living in pain and sorrow also makes sense. Clearly, if it didn't make sense, we wouldn't be doing it. So how would the light know itself if we need the lunar tone, and in this wave it's the storm, autogeneration. So even our illnesses auto-generate. You start identifying with whatever it is you got, and there you go. Or maybe we just identify with humans have illnesses, and there we go. Or we identify with I am usually sad, or I am periodically depressed, or I am this, or I am that. Any I am, say I am anything, and it becomes, that's the key to auto-generation. That's the key to the storm, is the I am. We really want to be very mindful of I am statements. Only ever I am statement anything you want to be. You can say I am hungry because I don't mind being hungry because it's okay. I get food, it's nice, food is delicious when I'm hungry, blah, blah, blah. I am sad, I may want to just be careful how often I say that. Somewhere, some wave spells ago, I was really on about that, and then I lost track of that myself. I didn't stay to my course. I wanted to not make any I am statements anymore for a while. Oh, and now I am. How do I reword that? I have to leave in 25 minutes. I was about to say I am running out of time. I don't want to say I am running out of time because I don't want to ever be running out of time. And because I can never be running out of time, white mirror, the truth is I can never run out of time, but I can create some kind of reality in which I experience myself running out of time, and that might not be comfortable. Because I'm also not thinking in the back of my head, running out of time is really cool. Let's do that. No, it's not. It doesn't seem to be. So how do I say that? I am called by my next appointment, and I have a few things to do that I have enough time to do them if I end this podcast now. I am wise beyond words. I am good in timing. I am well organized. I am happy. I am joyful. I am blissful. I am balanced. Thank you very much. I am enjoying my moment. I am going to enjoy my day. I am present. I am going to be present. I'm going to reflect myself back to myself and enjoy my reflection. And wherever I am meeting any I am that I am not so happy to be meeting, I am able to course correct, auto generate a lunar storm anytime, stabilize my challenge through polarizing. So there's always the other pole, and I can choose it, or I can choose both or neither. It's not either or, it's both and more. Capacha lecha. I quote. All right. I wish us a beautiful Sunday. Feel your inner light. Feel your bliss. Tune into that presence of silent joy. Causeless joy. That silent, silent joy that does not have a cause, but itself. That chooses itself for its own sake. And that can only do so, electric sun, because there exists the possibility to experience in this realm the opposite of bliss, and be thankful for it, because we wouldn't know it otherwise. It wouldn't know itself otherwise, but it's not a place we need to hang out in. And yet, you may have experienced this too. Every time after a dark period in your life, however long it lasts, the light is so much more intense, so much more. It's like the seasons in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. The seasonal changes are so amazing because of long dark winter, long dark cold. They're also very beautiful. I love them. I love long dark winter. I love it. I love it. I love it. Every day is different, and that's what makes it amazing. We don't have to polarize into good and bad. We can just polarize into 360 days of different whatever. We can polarize a billion years of climate change. Climate change is amazing. It's amazing. We wouldn't know our comfort zone if we didn't know, if we weren't pressed for comfort now and then. It's we just enjoy it. It forces us to adapt, and right now we need to adapt a little bit, for sure. One way or the other. Okay. Take good care, and you will hear me tomorrow, if you will. Aho.